Hey guys, Courtney here with Courtney's Customs. Today I'm going to show you how to make this super cute cowhide wood grain peekaboo sippy cup. And before I get started, do me a huge favor and hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you'll be the first one to know when I post new videos. Alright, so what I did first was I took my sippy cup, sanded it down, and then I spray painted it Salted Caramel by Rust-Oleum. And I got this set off of Amazon. These are Tim Holtz brand alcohol ink. It's the wood grain. I think they called it the cabin cupboard collection. There is latte, caramel, and ginger. So a while back I actually posted a tutorial on wood grain tumblers. If you want to go back and watch that, by all means, please do. I'm going to go ahead and give a quick rundown of it again, since this is part of it. I suggest wearing gloves when you use alcohol inks because they do stain, but I'm not. It's fine. So I also have this really cheap little brush. I'm pretty sure I got it from the dollar store. And I'm going to start with my darkest color, which is ginger. And I'm just making a line and taking this brush and kind of very roughly brushing it along. Glitter on this brush. Skipping spots and just doing this over and over. And if you've never worked with alcohol inks before, they dry very, very quickly. So I'm not gonna have to wait for this to dry. But I have read a lot of horror stories about whenever it's dry, people slapping it on the turner, doing epoxy, and then somehow the inks turn green. So I always, after I do the wood grain, I let it sit overnight before I go and put epoxy on it. I don't seal it with anything. I just let it dry. And right now I'm going in with the second color, which is caramel. It's just a little bit lighter than the first. These are really, really easy. When I first did them, I actually avoided them for a while because I thought they were super hard because they look like it takes a lot of skill whenever it's all done, but they're actually very easy. Now I'm going with the lightest, which is latte. I don't know if I mentioned it or not, but I got this from Amazon, the alcohol ink set. I will make sure to link that in the description so you guys can find it and just go straight to it if you want. And this stuff splatters. I'm getting it all over my chest. So you can just go back and forth with all of the colors, all the different shades, and give it that wood grain look. If you're not satisfied with how dark it is, you can just go back through like I'm doing. Can't put too much, so don't worry about that. I usually go pretty heavy. I'm not going to worry about the bottom of this one because it is going to be kind of like a peekaboo, so I'm not super worried about making the bottom look like wood at the moment. If you don't have alcohol inks, I know you can also do this with acrylic paint. If you have different shades of brown, you can do like a dirty pour and you can make it look like wood that way. I've never tried it, but I have seen it done and it's beautiful. I would like to try it just for fun one day. So that's what it looks like right now. I'm just kind of going back and filling in spots that I'm not totally happy with. splattering all over me. I'm going to go in the house, my husband's going to be like, what the heck happened to you? Every time I come back in from the shed though, I'm always filthy. I'm always covered in Mod Podge and paint and glitters, and sometimes I even have epoxy on me, which is super frustrating. But if that ever happens, if you ever get epoxy on you, go to the Craft Attack. I'll go ahead and link that in the description too so you can find it. But the Craft Attack, they sell epoxy, and they also sell this epoxy removal scrub. You can scrub your hands with it. But I'm going to go ahead and leave it at that. It's going to be a peekaboo, so I'm not super concerned with it being perfect. Wood's not perfect anyway. I'm going to leave it with this. I'm going to come back in 24 hours and then epoxy. Alright guys, so it is the next day. My wooden sippy cup was fully cured, and I went ahead and painted it white with Rust-Oleum, because if I were to just put these water slides on the brown cup, they wouldn't show up. So I painted the cup white. I just got on Google and I printed off a cowhide image, and I'm going to wrap the image all the way around the cup. I probably won't make it perfect because we are going to take some acetone and kind of wear some of it off, and I'm not going to worry about it being completely perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the big piece and get the big piece done and over with. This is just regular tap water, nothing fancy. It is a little colder than room temp. You don't ever want to use like super warm water when you do water slides. And before I put this in, I also sprayed it with, I'll show you this right here, Rust-Oleum Clear Gloss. I'm going to go ahead and spray this other piece. It doesn't take long at all to dry. And you're going to need your little squeegee as well. You can also take like a towel or a pillowcase or something. I'm going to use a towel that I leave out here, and put your cup on it just to keep it in place while you put the water slide on. Get your cup wet. It'll help the water slide glide onto the cup easier. And you can check if it's ready, which it is. You can slide the backing off. So like I said, not worried about it being perfect because we are going to rub some of it off. So it's going to be pretty wrinkly down towards the bottom because this cup is very curved, but that is okay. Okay, sorry about the skip in the video there. I had a customer come pick up a cup, so I had to go out there with them. But see, there's a good bit of wrinkle down there, but we're not going to worry about it because we're going to acetone that off. And this spot back here, I have a smaller piece that I'm probably just going to slap on there diagonally like I showed you in the beginning. I like to hold the image down until it stops curling. I don't think it'll really damage it if it starts curling if you let it, but it makes me feel better to just hold it down. So I'm getting my cup wet. That would be really, really cute just to leave that if it wasn't for the wrinkles. I love cowhide stuff. I think it's super cute. See if that's ready yet. Not quite. Leave it in there for a few more seconds. So whenever we use that acetone, I'm going to put it on a cotton ball and just kind of rub some of it off. Rub some of the image off and around the top and the bottom to reveal that wood. So it's almost going to be like a peekaboo. So I'm going to call this the cowhide Cowhide woodgrain peekaboo sippy cup. It's stuck on there pretty good. I'm going to lay this piece back down that the first image came off of, and I'm going to lay it on there, because if I lay it on the towel, it'll mess it up pretty bad. Get out as much wrinkle as I can. And the best part about this is the parts that look extremely wrinkly, like down there, I can just rub it off and let the wood show through. And all of the white that you can still see, that's going to be wood too. So, alright, so now I'm going to let that dry for, I'm going to guess maybe like 30 minutes. I'm going to go work on another cup and come back to this and we'll do the next step. Alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and start the acetone process of this cup. Sorry, you're probably going to hear my cricket working in the background. You're going to need some acetone. This is the kind I've always used. I get it on Amazon. And then some cotton balls. I also get these from Amazon. You don't have to use cotton balls. You can use a like a washcloth or a towel or something like that. So just get some acetone on your cotton ball or whatever you're using and just start rubbing. And it really takes that paint off easily. So right now I'm just trying to cover all the white spots before I get into the water slide itself. You don't have to apply much pressure at all, and a little bit goes a long way with this. You will have to go back and kind of clean that up with a second cotton ball just to get like the excess paint off. So now you can see the wood grain effect that I did in the beginning. And wet another cotton ball. Once it gets so much paint on it, you're going to have to use a different cotton ball, or a different side of your towel, or whatever you're using. Alright, so I'm going to go back and clean that up after I do the water slide part. So now I'm just going to come in, choose some spots, like maybe this one right here. And this is going to take a little longer than just paint, but regardless, it still works. So I'm just kind of making it look like it's ripping through. Choosing some spots that might not look the best because of wrinkles and whatnot. I've actually never done a peekaboo on a water slide like this, so this is my first one. I don't want to take away too much of the cowhide. I don't need another cotton ball. I don't want to take away from it too much. So I'm pretty much just choosing the spots that didn't look the best because of wrinkles and all that good stuff. Like right here, the image, I overlapped it a little bit, so I'm taking that away. And I'm going to come down, even though this part looks really good, it's still, I need to show some wood here. So I'm just gonna do a small spot, nothing big. You really got to put some pressure on here too when you do the water slides, it seems. Alright, so now I'm going to go through everything I just did, and with very, very light pressure, just clean that up so it looks more clear. Let me get that piece here that kind of stuck around. And there's that done. Okay. So this turned out pretty cool. I like it. It's very different. It's not something I've done before. And that actually took some paint off, so I'm gonna have to patch that up. This is strong stuff. Very, very strong stuff. I'm not sure how that took that out. Well, yeah, this acetone can eat through the epoxy too, so be very careful not to put too much on there like I must have done in that spot. That's okay, I can just put some brown paint over it and patch it up. No biggie. I don't like how that looks there though, so I'm gonna rip through that too. Alright, so that's different, but that's cute. Customer also wants this is a sippy cup, so they want their baby's name on here somewhere, so I'll have to choose a spot to do that. But that is how that turned out. Pretty cute. I'm so indecisive with this stuff. I'm going to go back through and probably change it 15 more times before I get rid of it. But that is the cowhide, woodgrain, peekaboo, sippy cup tutorial. Pretty simple. So if you guys have any questions, please feel free to comment and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks guys, bye.